YouTube, what's going on? Jay Shoe Fanatic back again. What's up to all my shoe fanatics? I hope you guys are doing well. Hope this message, this video finds you all in good spirits and good health. Man, today we have unfortunately my last Jordan 4 in my collection. If you guys have watched my previous videos, I told you that I didn't have a whole lot of Jordan 4s, and that is damn unfortunate. It's a dope silhouette, man. I just came to the party late, you know what I mean? And 2019, I believe, was the 30th anniversary of the Jordan 4. So I think there was a couple of releases, but I just wasn't into the whole thing, you know, at a certain time. So that being said, we're gonna talk about the 30th anniversary shoe in the form of the Jordan 4 Black Laser SC, which I think stands for Special Edition. But man, here it is. You guys can check that thing out. And this shoe is somewhat of an oddity to me, man, because I don't know how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Everything that points to this shoe tells you it should be a dope pickup, and I think it's just okay for the most part. So in particular, I believe this shoe came out in January of 2019, if I'm not mistaken. So the shoe debuted for $200, which, you know, I guess that's to be expected with a special edition shoe, as this one was touted to be from Nike. When I actually picked the shoe up, I want to say it was sometime around July or August or September of that same year. Don't quote me up on it. I'm gonna put a post up from my Instagram feed. Essentially, what ended up happening was Finish Line actually had this shoe marked down to $150, and then for some reason there was a 50% off coupon code that applied to these guys. So essentially what ended up happening is I got this shoe for $75 from Finish Line. And I said, hell, I'm gonna jump on that. So if you saw my tattoo video, I mentioned to you that, you know, I got heavy into just wanting to get everything Jordan, all the Jordan silhouettes, all the Jordan colorways. And so I ended up buying stuff just to buy it. So when I got this, I thought, hey, what the hell? It's like being in an outlet. If I saw the shoe in an outlet for $75, I damn sure would have picked it up. And so that's how I ended up with this. Now, the pictures online didn't really wow me. And to this day, even in hand, the shoe doesn't wow me. So if you remember, I mentioned a shoe takes on three different parts of its life cycle: on foot, in hand, and in pictures. So in pictures and in hand, still to this day, I still don't think it just blows my socks off. Even though it should, right? Because the elements of the shoe are all pretty dope. I just don't know if they work cohesively. The leather on the shoe is pretty supple. I'm gonna take the shoe tree out so you can see. It's a decent quality leather. You know what I mean? It's pretty supple. As you can see, it bends in, no problem. I have worn the shoe multiple times, so as you can see that there are creases in the heel of the shoe there. Excuse me, on the toe box of the shoe. So, you know, I mean, I do get use out of it. And it's got this white midsole with, most importantly, this gum bottom. The gum bottom is a dope touch in most indie Jordan, and it's no exception here. I just don't know if the sum of its parts are greater than the whole. I don't seem like I want to have this shoe, or I say this is a must cop. It's just not to me. It doesn't nearly come close to the original lasers, which I'll put those up somewhere here. And I think the difference especially too is the etching on those shoes, excuse me, the pattern on those shoes is etched into the leather, which this one just seems to be screen printed. Now on my tattoo review, which I hope you saw, I posted that a couple of days ago, it was just a bunch of flaming basketballs that was screen printed over and over again on the shoe. Now because this is black with a black screen printing on it, it's kind of difficult to make out some of the little intricate details. I'm gonna try to, you know, put the shoe up to the camera, do some revolving shots of it, get some good B-roll, show you what it looks like up close in hand. Maybe you can decipher what some of the things mean. I think there's a 38 or something on here, which I don't know what that means. It's a lot of, looks like tribal tattoo art, and just, you know, a bunch of few things I'm sure some designer put effort into, but I could not decipher what it meant. But I think it would have been a little better if the print was embossed or at least etched into the leather as opposed to screen printed. So as I mentioned, this shoe is kind of hit or miss for me. Reason being because I just don't know what to do with it. Everything, like I said, everything should work. It's nice black leather with these little hints of red, which I think is actually pretty cool. If you look at the tongue, it does have the Jordan Jumpman, a mesh tag as normal with a red flight. Now that is the only part of red besides the insole, which is a little dusty in there, but like I said, I rock my stock, and on the bottom of the sole. Now those are the only hints of red. And you know, it's a nice little subtle touch, which is cool. I'm not mad at subtlety. It's just, for the life of me, I just can't figure out why I don't think this shoe works to the best of its potential. Before I forget, it does have a Air Jordan on the back of the tongue. Like I said, that's pretty standard for Air Jordan models. That's another red hint. Tongue is, you know, to be expected. It's got a nice, this actually feels like leather on the tongue. A nice soft leather, which doesn't feel the same. Now, okay, so here's something interesting I think I'm just figuring out. If you get a chance to get your hands on these, if you run your thumb across the tongue, the leather does feel really nice and soft. And I think that's because it does not have the screen printing on it. I'm not sure what the screen printing process looks like, but I'd be willing to wager that if this shoe had this leather and this quality material, at least without the screen printing all over the shoe, I would probably like it a lot better. And as a matter of fact, I don't know if the camera is picking up all of the little details, but if I can envision this shoe without the screen printing, with just a white and gum bottom, that would make it a different shoe to me. And that would probably, to me, make it a must cop actually. You know, there's nothing like it in the Jordan 4 line as far as I'm aware of. In the Olivia, I can't remember her name, but it's a woman's shoe that has, I think, the bovine hair on it. That's all black, and there's also the Jordan 4 Black Cats, which I believe released this year. Even those, if they would have had a white with a gum bottom on it, that would totally make it a super dope shoe, and it would be in the best interest of the shoe to do that, in my opinion. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that there is a Jumpman on the back, which, you know, as I mentioned, some of the other models do have Nike Air on them, but this one does have a Jumpman. There were no additional lace swaps that, you know, which is to be expected with this particular shoe. It does have a clear or see-through air bubble there. Eyelets are all black. And, you know, I think the most important thing, or the redeeming part of this shoe, is the gum bottom. I mean, that's a really dope touch. I wish more Jordans had the gum bottom, but, you know, that's what keeps the shoe unique, in my opinion, more so than screen printing, because I could obviously live without that. There was no hang tag with this particular model, which is fine. I can do without that too. But, you know, a lot of people seem to really like this shoe, and it's really hit or miss for me. This is a very middle of the road shoe, and it's a very mediocre Jordan 4. Considering what Jordan 4 means to the community and some of the doper colorways that come out, this is very mediocre to me, especially for it to be considered a special edition or a 30th anniversary edition of a Jordan 4. So as far as status, this is not a must cop for me, not in the least bit. I think it's a nice piece if you're gonna pull out and show it, but you can do without this shoe. You just can. Now, like I said, if I got this shoe for $75 from Finish Line, if you could pick it up anywhere near close to that, this is a good shoe to have to throw on real quick. But as far as ratings go, this is probably about a 6.5, which is unfortunate because I really do like the Jordan 4. I mean, most people really do like the Jordan 4, but that's really unfortunate for this shoe. It is maybe something that I'm missing, maybe some nostalgia that I'm not aware of, you know, sue me, but this doesn't do it for me. Doesn't move me at all, man, you know. This is less interesting, if you will, than the Tattoo Jordan 4. And people think that's a train wreck. This just doesn't stand out to me, you know, unfortunately. But here it is. This is your Jordan 4. What is this? Jordan 4 Laser. Yeah, it's a laser. That's how bland it is to me. It's a laser. So do me a favor, like, share, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. In the comments, tell me what you think. And I'm out of here, man. Take it easy. Peace out.